Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, The Agile Soul. Before I begin today's videos, I have a question for you. Are you an Agile Scrum team or are you just a Scrum team? In order to answer this question, let me help you understand what the difference is and how can you know if you're an Agile Scrum team or just a Scrum team. Let us begin. What does it mean to be an Agile Scrum team? Before I answer this question, I'd like to recap on the definition of Agile. Agile is a set of values and principles that encourages communication and feedback, adapting to changes, and producing working results. This is a good time for you to reflect. Do you understand what this definition means? And is this something that you have incorporated within your day to day work already? Let me help you a little more to answer that question. Let's first look at the values. There are four Agile values. The first one is individuals and interactions over processes and tools. The second, working software over comprehensive documentation. The third one, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. And the fourth, responding to change over following a plan. Now, at this point, I'd like you to ask yourself, how well have you incorporated these values in your day-to-day working? Just think about the way you work. Do you choose your team and the individuals in your team and the interactions you have over the processes and tools that you are currently following? Is your primary focus on delivering working software rather than extensive research and more and comprehensive documentation? Are you very active with your customers? Do you have a high level of collaboration with them throughout the project? Or do you just interact with them during the beginning and the end of your development stages? And lastly, how open are you as a team to responding to change, even if it means deviating from the original plan that you had discussed and agreed upon when you started the project? An answer to these questions would already give you an idea of where you are in terms of following the Agile values. And now you can target your focus on achieving and building your rapport, building your team up to make them more agile by incorporating these values more and more. Let us now also look into the Agile principles and let's understand what do these principles actually mean. There are 12 Agile principles and let's look at them one by one. The first one, MVP, the earlier the better. All of you know, I'm sure know that an MVP means a minimal viable product. A team's highest priority should be to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. The next one, which is change is great. Welcoming changing requirements, even late in the development cycle, is a true reflection of an agile team. This helps you give the customer exactly what they want, thus giving you an advantage over your competitors because you have understood and incorporated the customer's request to the team. Next one, iterative working. This is pretty self-explanatory, but the reason you move away from waterfall to an agile methodology is because we believe in iterative working, completing smaller chunks of tasks and getting it out there rather than waiting for the entire product with all its features before showing it to the audience. The next one, the best results are created together. Bringing One of the key roles in agile is bringing together the business and technical aspect. Thus, when you have the business and the business and the dev team working together, you are going to come up with a very unique product than you would have if you had both these components working individually. Building a project around motivated individuals. This is another key to driving. This is another key for the success of an agile team. Making sure giving your team the environment and the support they need to complete the product, as well as showing the trust on them to get the job done, helps keep your employees motivated, keeps your team motivated. And once you have a team of motivated employees, you are obviously going to have a product that reflects that motivation. And coming to the next principle, which is direct communication. The most effective and efficient method of conveying information to an agile team or even within an agile team is to do is face to face, direct communication. This helps avoid any kind of misconceptions or misunderstandings between all parties involved, and you all leave with a common understanding of the goals and what to do. The next one, which is only usable results count. Here it is very self-explanatory. A working software is the primary measure of progress. There's nothing more I could even add to explain to this principle here. What I would do is dive into the next one, which is the pull principle. Agile works on the pull principle rather than push. What does this mean? The push principle means assigning tasks to your team and telling them when to do what and for how long, how long do they have to invest in that task. Whereas in an agile team, whereas the pull principle is when your team grabs tasks one after the other based on their bandwidth and based on when they can take on a new task or when they're ready to take on a new task. And this all keeping in line that all of you have agreed to achieve the same goal in that same given duration. Next one, transparency and prioritization. Making tasks and progress clear to all visible parties. Once you have a high level of transparency within your team, this helps avoid any unrealistic expectations as to when a product can actually be delivered. And with this transparency, it also helps in prioritizing which components to do first, second, so on and so forth. The next one is big and complex tasks are broken down into smaller steps, keeping it simple. That's the whole idea behind this task. There is a saying, right? Simplicity is the art of maximizing the work not done. This is exactly what you're going to do when you do these task breakdowns. You're going to simplify it so much that you know what is not done and how much is not done, how much needs to be done, etc. And the next one, which I cannot emphasize the importance of this, is a self organization. An agile team, a team is truly agile when you are started self organization. Now, how can you bring this up within your team? If you have the right skill sets and motivated individuals in your team, and you trust them enough to make the decisions that they think are right, and encourage them to take ownership and give them the responsibility of communication within the team, and even if necessary sometimes to the stakeholders, you are automatically going to set your team on a self organization path, because you have key drivers within that team who know what to do, who know what to do next. The next one is learning from experience and continuous improvement. At regular intervals, it is very important for an agile team to reflect on how they can become more efficient. And once you have this reflection talk, once you have come up with ideas of improving your efficiency, the entire team needs to accustom themselves to those new agreed action items so that your next iteration or the next process of delivering your product is going to be better than what it was previously. This brings me to the end of the 12 agile principles. And I really hope with these 12 agile principles, you're able to understand the concept of agile better and how this is different from just working within working within a Scrum framework where you just follow the Scrum ceremonies because it is something that's there on your calendar. If you like this video and if you want to know more of the content that I'm producing, do check out my website, the agilesoul.xyz. You will find all my content there. And if you want to also request new content or just give me feedback on this one, feel free to add a section. There is a section on the website as well as on the comments of this video. Thank you so much. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Bye.